Money is supposed to be solid, reliable, a quiet background character in our lives. But every so often it behaves like something alive, multiplying, shrinking, vanishing, reappearing. Entire empires have risen because of it. Entire generations have been crushed by it. And behind the curtain, in moments of crisis or ambition, governments reach for the same lever again and again. They print more of it. Picture a king in medieval Europe, facing a cold stone room, his treasury nearly empty while enemies gather at the border. Picture a revolutionary government surrounded by chaos, its old currency distrusted, its people desperate. Picture a modern central banker at 3 in the morning, watching global markets convulse on glowing screens. Different centuries, same question. Where does the money come from when there isn't enough? Welcome to Behind the Money. We're here to decode the financial world, revealing the stories, the systems, and the power plays that define our modern era. If you've ever wondered about the real story behind wealth and influence, you're in the right place. Subscribe now, and let's uncover these secrets together. You'll never look at money the same way again. To understand why governments print money, you have to forget the idea that money is just paper or numbers. Money is a promise, a story we all agree to believe. And when belief wavers, governments don't just manage economies, they manage fear. Long before paper bills existed, rulers faced the same problem. Wars were expensive. Armies didn't march on courage alone. In ancient Rome, the silver denarius was once nearly pure silver, trusted across the empire. But as Rome expanded and expenses exploded, emperors quietly reduced the silver content, mixing in cheaper metals. The coin looked the same. It spent the same, but it was worth less. This was money printing before printing presses, an invisible tax spread across the population. Most Romans didn't notice at first. That's the brilliance and the danger of it. Inflation doesn't arrive with a trumpet blast. It creeps in. Bread costs a little more. Soldiers demand higher pay. Merchants adjust prices, not out of greed, but survival. By the 3rd century, the denarius was mostly copper, silver in name only. Trust evaporated. Prices spiraled. The empire staggered. Fast forward 1,000 years. China, under the Song dynasty, pioneered true paper money. It was revolutionary. No heavy coins, no caravans of metal. Trade flourished. The state discovered something intoxicating. It could create money faster than mines could produce silver. At first it worked beautifully. Then came overprinting. Then came inflation. Then collapse. The pattern was already there. So why do governments keep doing this, even after history screams warnings? Because printing money solves problems now. And humans, especially governments under pressure, are wired to prioritize now. War is the classic trigger. When survival is on the line, balanced budgets become luxuries. During the American Civil War, the Union needed funds immediately. Taxes weren't enough, borrowing was slow. So the government printed greenbacks, unbacked by gold or silver. They worked. Soldiers were paid. Factories ran. The Union won. Inflation followed, but the nation survived. From the government's perspective, printing money wasn't a mistake. It was a lifeline. The same logic returned during World War I. European powers abandoned the gold standard to fund total war. Printing presses ran hot. Victory came, but so did devastation. Germany, crushed by reparations and debt, turned to the press again in the 1920s. Wheelbarrows of cash. Banknotes worth less than the paper they were printed on. A child could become a millionaire by lunchtime and be unable to buy bread by dinner. The trauma of hyperinflation didn't just wreck the economy, it scarred the national psyche and paved the way for extremism. And yet, decades later, governments still print, because money printing isn't always catastrophic. In fact, sometimes it's quietly essential. Modern economies run on credit. Banks create money when they issue loans. Central banks manage interest rates to keep growth steady. When everything works, money expands naturally alongside production. But when crises hit, pandemics, financial crashes, sudden collapses of confidence, this system seizes up. People stop spending. Businesses stop investing. Fear freezes the flow. That's when governments step in. During the Great Depression, the U.S. clung to the gold standard while banks failed and unemployment soared. Only when the government broke free, injecting money, backing deposits, expanding spending, did recovery begin. The lesson stuck. When the 2008 financial crisis erupted, central banks didn't hesitate. Trillions of dollars were created digitally, used to stabilize banks and markets. Critics screamed. Inflation, they warned, was inevitable. It didn't happen, not right away. This is where the story gets subtle. Printing money doesn't automatically cause runaway inflation. Inflation happens when too much money chases too few goods. In 2008, the money largely stayed inside the financial system, repairing balance sheets rather than flooding consumer markets. It was money as medicine, administered carefully, watched closely. The same playbook returned during the COVID-19 pandemic. Governments shut down economies overnight, then opened the monetary floodgates. Stimulus checks, emergency loans, trillions created with keystrokes. The goal wasn't prosperity, it was survival. And for a while, it worked. Then inflation surged. This is the trade-off governments live with. Print too little, and the economy suffocates. Print too much, and prices explode. There is no safe, permanent equilibrium, only judgment calls under uncertainty. But beneath the economics lies something deeper: power. The ability to print money is the ability to shift resources without direct consent. Taxes are visible. Borrowing has limits. Printing money spreads the cost silently across everyone holding currency. It's politically tempting. Pain delayed is pain disguised. That's why independent central banks exist, to put distance between politicians and the printing press. It's why inflation targets matter. It's why credibility is everything. Once people believe money will lose value, it does. Trust breaks. The story collapses. Every hyperinflation begins the same way, with reasonable justifications, emergencies, exceptional circumstances, temporary measures. No government sets out to destroy its currency. They slide there step by step, choice by choice. And yet, without money printing, modern states might not survive crises at all. The paradox is cruel. The very tool that can save an economy can also destroy it. So why do governments print money? Because money is not just an economic instrument. It's a pressure valve, a weapon, a promise, a gamble against the future. Every banknote, every digital dollar carries a quiet question. Will people still believe in this tomorrow? As long as the answer is yes, the system holds. When it becomes no, history reminds us how fast it can all unravel. If you found this exploration of money and power interesting, consider subscribing for more deep dives into the forces that shape our world. Thanks for watching.